Welcome to episode 5 of Find Your Success. Dang, these have been amazing, and I can't believe we're already on episode 5. It's pretty nuts. Thanks to Jalubi over here on the side. One day we'll get him on camera. But for today, we have the amazing Rachel Romero with the Barberologist Lounge.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited that I'm episode number 5. That's like my lucky number.
Wow.
So I feel like that was meant for me.
Total God moment right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It makes me feel better about the whole thing and about how the whole day has gone down. And with it snowing outside, I think it's pretty
It's
special.
so beautiful outside right now. Looks very nice. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Thank you for coming to my shop.
Of course.
In the Barberologist Lounge.
Yeah, well, then we might as well kick things off right there. If we could talk a little bit about who you are, where you're from, but eventually get into this amazing shop. So, who is Rachel? Where are you from?
So I'm born and raised Las Vegas, New Mexico. I grew up there my whole life.
East or West?
East Las Vegas, Cardinals. I did go to high school for a year in Taos. I lived there for about a year and a half while I was in high school. Went back to Robertson to graduate, and as soon as I graduated, I moved out here to Albuquerque. I was going to school at C&M for a couple of years, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my future. I knew I wanted to go to school and pursue a career, but I didn't really know what it was that I wanted to do. And growing up, I had nothing but brothers and male cousins and uncles, no aunts through blood. And so I was always around men. And when I got older, I wanted to be more kind of in the woman aspect of careers and fields like that. I didn't really want to go into like military or cop, background, anything like that. And so I wanted to try going to beauty school. And so I had started trying to start the program at C&M, but it was a long program to get into. So I ended up looking into private schools and found Aveda. And I fell in love with the whole concept of the school and the people at the school. And it was over from there. I started my career as a hairstylist. I started working at a salon downtown for about a year. And I just really loved the industry. I wanted to stop waiting tables part-time and make it a full-time career for me. And so I thought, I got to go to barber school so I can learn how to be a barber and cut hair with clippers, because as a stylist, most of you may or may not know, we don't really feel confident with our clipper cutting skills. And so going to barber school, I felt like was going to help give me that confidence that I needed. And it actually made me find my passion in this industry, which was using a straight razor. So the only difference between a barber and a cosmetologist is that barbers use a straight razor and cosmetologists do nails. And so the first day I did my straight razor shave on an actual client, I was like, wow, like this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And so it kind of just skyrocketed from there. I started working at a barber shop. I was there for a year, and in that year I got looked at and recognized by one of the biggest companies in the industry, Babeless Pro.
Shout out.
Yes, shout out Babeless Pro. And I'm a part of the Barberology team now. It's been 6 years that I've been a part of the team, going on year 7 this year. I've been in the industry for 8 years, so to say that, it's a huge accomplishment for me and my business. With that being said, my career just skyrocketed, and so after that year and a half mark, I opened up the Barberologist Lounge because I was becoming so busy with traveling with Babeless Pro and doing seminars and going to shows and teaching classes and things like that. And so 5 years ago, I opened up the Barberologist Lounge, and it was, I can't even say a dream. It was kind of something that just happened on a whim. I was traveling a lot. Things weren't working out at the place where I was at, and so I had to find something else for myself, and I didn't want to go work at another salon. I didn't want to go work at another barber shop, so I found Sola, and I was lucky enough to open up my own business without having to open a business and run a business and do all the, ins and outs of a business would have, but it's been really nice to be able to have my own space and call it my own.
It's a wonderful space. It's a really cool space. It's really intimate, actually. It's
yes.
I feel like it's just a unique place to be. relative to the other places that we find here in Albuquerque?
A lot of people
Yeah.
never even knew that suites existed until after COVID. It became a lot more of a popular
Interesting.
thing because people weren't comfortable going back to the salon or barbershop environment. So it was something
Interesting.
that, people started to seek out was more intimate services. And I think that's one thing that I've been really popular for is because since I specialize in men's grooming, I use the advantage that I have a private room with just one chair. It's just me and my client. And I do facials, I do scalp treatments, I do beard treatments, I do, the traditional straight razor shaves. And that's something that has started to become a thing of the past. So I think that being that I still hold those traditional standards of traditional barbering and I take pride in the men's grooming aspect of, doing facials and really pampering my men clients, I think that they really enjoy, that intimacy and
Absolutely.
that experience that they get to have here because at the end of the day it's more than a haircut. I think it's about the experience that you're getting, the confidence that you leave here with. That's all what matters to me when it comes to having guests in my chair.
What a neat differentiator. I don't know why that word came out so funny, but what a really fun thing that makes you different from most places here. I'm not sure if I know anyone here that does things quite like you. You might know a few people, but I don't.
I hate to toot my own horn, as they say, but people ask me all the time, like, if I'm out of town or they can't get in with me. I'm very booked. My schedule is very hard to get in with. And I say, I wish that I could refer you to somebody that does something like me. But as far as I know, there's nobody in the state of New Mexico that's doing what I do. And I would love it if you would want to. So, and if you are doing it, let us know. I'd love to see your business. I'd love to see your services.
Yeah.
I'm always, educating in Albuquerque, in my state of New Mexico. I'm not just traveling out of state. I do, do classes at salons, barbershops, schools. I go to CNM. I go to Aveda. So I'm very active with trying to spread my knowledge. I'm not a gatekeeper by no means. I allow students to come and extern with me during their programs. I allow people to come in and do one-on-one classes with me in the shop and use my tools and see everything that I have to offer, because I think that it is a huge thing for men, especially now, to take more pride in grooming themselves and pampering themselves and getting facials and doing things that normally they wouldn't do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of men out there that have never experienced that
Oh, yeah.
ever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it really is a treat and a unique experience, and that's coming from someone who's experienced your services, and it really is amazing. And I've never experienced anything like it, for sure. And seeing the support that you get, not just locally, but it seems like from around the country. You and I have collaborated on a few things.
Yeah.
You got people all over the country who are
I
following
do.
you, are asking you questions, who are stoked about everything that you're doing, who are coming to your events. It's really cool. So again, thanks for taking the time, and I want to take a step back because you gave us a lot of really good stuff to chew on. When talking about your family, you pointed out how you grew up around a lot of men, but you still had this interest in pursuing like a woman's based a career. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a tomboy growing up. I definitely was like a girly girl, but being around just boy cousins, brothers all the time, when I grew up, I was like, I want to be around women. Like, I
Really?
want to immerse myself in beauty. I want to do my hair, my makeup, like dress up for work every day. Like, I would see stylists and I would see them in, these beautiful outfits with their hair just on point and their makeup and everything. And that was just something that I always desired for myself.
Yeah.
It was something that I never really did. Like, in high school, like, my mom wouldn't really let me do much with makeup or, my appearance. But as soon as I moved to Albuquerque and started living on my own, I just was immersed to the city life and, the difference from a small town to a city and the way people dress, the way people look, just the pace is a lot more fast paced in the city. And so I just thought that, I want to be, at a salon. And that was just what I had envisioned for myself. It wasn't that I was like ever into cutting hair, It was more the like idea of the career.
That's so cool. I feel like I've heard similar stories before, but usually it's someone in your situation would have taken on. You mentioned like being in the police department or ranching or something.
Yes.
Like, so I've heard that story before, and that's where I thought you were going. But it's pretty cool that you found an interest in the other side, that you were aware enough to say like, I see what I'm immersed in,
Yeah.
and I want to experience the other side of that, and that you embraced that and that you chased it. Is there anything behind? Is there any other reasons behind that inspiration other than you just hadn't had a chance to experience it?
Yeah, I think just once I got like a taste of it, like moving out here and everything, I've always been a hard worker. I had a job since I was 14 years old, so I've just always been a hustler. And I think with that mentality, like you never can stay complacent in one aspect, And so I think like getting myself into the cosmetology program and graduating and going to school and all that, like it still wasn't enough, you know what I mean? And so like I just wanted to continue to be able to do more. And like I said, I was still waiting tables, and I was like, this is just something that I love, and I feel like it could definitely be a career for me in the long term. But I feel like I need to be able to do all aspects, because as a beginner stylist in a salon with 20 other people, you're getting nothing but walk-ins. And at that point, you're getting clipper cuts, men coming in on their lunch, or women that have short haircuts that just want a quick cleanup in between their day or whatever the case is. And coming from cosmetology school, especially from Aveda, not knocking the education, but we learned a lot more about color and skincare and, all the other aspects of hair other than cutting hair with clippers. And cutting hair with clippers is very intimidating to somebody that's never done it before. So, yeah, after messing people up a few times and feeling like I'm, the worst stylist in the world, I loved my industry and my career enough that I knew that I just had to further my education so I could feel more confident in what I was doing. And when I did that, I went thinking that I was going to learn how to cut hair with clippers, and I was just going to stay cutting hair at a salon the rest of my career. But I ended up falling in love with using a straight razor. And in order to do that, I had to work under a barber that was licensed to be able to, figure out how I was going to build the clientele and everything like that, and have the proper resources that I needed, a barber chair, all that, etc., for the shave and everything like that. And so that was kind of like what pushed me to take the barbering aspect, was really the straight razor. I thought going to learn the clipper cut was just going to help me enhance the services that I offered, but it completely made a 360 on my passion for the industry. And now I joke about it, because it's like I got into this industry to try and get away from men, and now here I am 8 years later. That's and funny. I've been voted the best barbershop 5 years in a row, best kids cut 3 years in a row. So I'm super blessed for that. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yes. And a barbershop at that. I am a private suite. I'm a one-chair shop. So it's just myself. I don't have other barbers here helping me or, anything like that. So it's a true honor for me to be able to have that title.
Yeah, it is very cool. Seriously. It's amazing to see the awards sitting behind you, see recognized as the best in Albuquerque.
One of the best.
Yes.
There are,
And
others that are named.
You're humble, and there's other amazing humans here. But you're a very special human being, and you've done a very, very good job. So just congratulations on that. It's fun to watch you killing the crush it. And I think there's some really fun lessons in what you've done. It's really cool that you found, like, you put your toes in the water. You found something that really got you excited.
Yes.
You pursued it. It did get you excited, and you allowed that. You allowed for more of that to continue to come. It seems like, and then you just found more of it with the straight razor. It kept unlocking things as you said yes to the right things.
And it does, that's the beautiful thing about being in an industry that you love, and you feel like you don't work a day in your life. You come in and you get to make money having fun, and, just talking to your clients, cutting hair, creating art, building confidence in people. It's more than just cutting hair for us. We're like therapists to our clients. We, are stylists. We have to try and find the perfect haircut, the perfect,
like giving your opinion.
shape, everything for everybody,
Dang.
so it's definitely a job that has many hats, but I love it. And, I think that's what makes me be so successful. And the industry is constantly growing. It's constantly changing. There's always new trends. There's always new services that can be offered and education that can be learned. And so that's why I really love doing the education aspect of it and being able to travel and see what else is out there in the world and not just confine myself to the standards in New Mexico.
Well, speaking of teaching, because you do a lot of it, I would love to talk about the things or build on the things that have made you successful up to this point. If you had a list, maybe a trait or two that you recognize in yourself that has helped you get to where you are, what might those traits be?
I think, just traditional handshaking with people has definitely become something that is a dying thing, and it's sad to say. But if you walk around and you see a room full of strangers, 9 times out of 10, they're not even going to look at you. They're not even going to notice you or give you
Pull out
any.
the
Yeah, they
phone.
pull out their phones, they act introverted, and it's sad because you miss out on so many opportunities when you're not present in the moment. And I think for me, being present all the time, looking at people, smiling at people, I don't even got to say anything when I just smile at somebody.
Yes.
It's contagious. It's somebody tells you, hey, how's it going, or hey, whatever, you feel more comfortable, and it just kind of opens up doors for any kind of aspect, any kind of opportunities, you know what I mean? But I think so many people are so stuck behind their phones and so stuck with trying to be on social media and a presence on social media that they forget that their presence is being here now with the people that you're with.
Would you also agree that maybe people don't know themselves fully or are maybe insecure and just like they might hide behind the wall of what social media is, they shelter themselves from people in the real world because they don't believe in themselves. Maybe they don't love themselves enough to
Yeah.
go out and be who God made them to be.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I think COVID was a big thing for everybody emotionally and just in every aspect of life. But I've just felt like the last few years going to shows, traveling, the places that I've traveled, like you get in an elevator with somebody and you're like, good morning. And like people look at you like, what the hell is she on? Like, it's like, dang, like I'm just trying to tell you good morning, like just have a good day, like, but then you meet those people where you're like, hey, I like your hair, I like your shoes. And like you see the energy inside of them just light up. You see that smile, you see their eyes perk up, they're seen, they're noticed, they like that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think for me that was one of the biggest things when I first got into the industry. Like I said, after a year of being a barber, I got noticed by Babeless Pro. How did I do that? Well, in that time I had been already teaching in my city. I was in Albuquerque going to the salon that I used to work at, and I wanted to show my friends how to cut hair with clippers because I was like, there's no reason why you shouldn't know how to use a clipper. The thing that scared us was that we never turned on a clipper before, and when we would cut it, it would take all the hair off. But once you understand how the clipper works, how the guards work, how the tool is meant to help you, then it makes your life so much easier. Even for women's hair, I use clippers sometimes depending on the texture
Sure.
and the type of cut that they want. But it's just something that I feel like as stylists, we're kind of just like scolded not to learn it. It's something that like people are like, anytime there's a male cut or a kid's cut that comes in, they're like, I need a smoke break. It's my lunchtime.
That's
Like
interesting.
people, they avoid it.
Interesting.
And
Let's
so
start
for
watching
me,
that.
like I wanted to just start sharing my passion with people because I was like, there's no reason why you shouldn't know how to do this. If you already understand how to cut hair, this is just another tool for you to do it with. And so I started doing that, and Aveda reached out, C&M reached out. They were like, hey, we want you to come do demos and show the girls, the techniques that you use and that have helped you become successful. And this was way before I even got with Babeless Pro. And I was using their tools because I believed in the tools. I had taken one of their classes with one of their educators before. They broke down the tools. They really helped me understand the process of haircutting. Whereas when I had taken classes before, people would go in, do a crazy design, do some, cool little tricks here and there and be like, I'm Barberologist. Thank you for coming to my class. Have a great day, And it's like you spend all that money and you're like, wow, I just went and saw a show, but I didn't learn anything, And so I wanted to be able to give people that education that they wanted when they would go to a class, and be able to make sure that I could break things down to people in the simplest form, to where, like, if you who've never cut hair before was about to give somebody a haircut, I would be able to break it down to you in a simple enough, manner where you could probably be able to do it.
Wow.
And so I think that was one of the biggest things that kind of put me out on the radar for Babeless, was because when I started doing that, I would send it to them, and then the local news channel on New Mexico Living, we would cut some of the producers for them, and they would have us go and do like little segments on the news. And none of the other people at the shop that I worked at was comfortable in front of a camera, so I would always go and be the one, doing the haircuts or whatever they had us doing on the news. So in that year, I was sending them, I'm at, this cosmetology school, I'm at this salon, I'm on the news, and I'm using your tools, and I'm teaching people how to cut hair, and I just love this industry. And, I was just new in the industry and just trying to be known. And so I kept sharing my stuff.
You were helping
and
people.
Yeah,
you
they
showed
saw,
up and helped others.
They did. And so when they reached out to me, they told me that they were having a training, and that they wanted to bring me out because they had saw that I was starting to, help bridge the gap between barbers and stylists. And that's why they wanted to have me go be on a bigger platform for them and help me spread that message in a bigger form, And so that's been what I've been doing for the last 6 years.
That's very cool. And I love how that started off with the handshake, right? The classic handshake, being willing to look people in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine is part of that, being yourself,
Mm-hmm.
being willing to help others in your own industry.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a damn good job has opened up many, many doors, and showing up with a smile on your face, and finding something that you love to do has led you down a pretty special path.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
That is awesome. And the teaching that you do, it really is special. It's fun to see someone like yourself teaching others, building up others actively. I don't know if I know very many people who have a platform like yours or teach as often as you do, like live and with like working with your hands.
Yeah,
it's really fun to see.
I think that this industry is so amazing, and we have so many different, people in the industry that have so much to offer. And I think that collaborating with each other over competing with each other is the biggest thing, because we're a group of creatives, and we all have something to bring to the table, And so I think that that's why I've really pushed the Barberologist brand. And, I've been lucky enough to collaborate with some pretty badass companies, and I got some t-shirts made, and I got some pins made, and we got some Barberologist merch made now, and it's spreading, all throughout the United States. It's beautiful to see the support that I have, and how many people want to be a barberologist too, and are proud to not just be a barber, just be a stylist. You can be both and be successful in both worlds, and it's not a cutthroat industry like people try to make it seem like. There is a lot of support. There are barbers that want to support barbers. There are stylists that want to support stylists. It's not, the cutthroat industry that some people try to make it, make out to be.
In regards, again, to the teaching and what things have led you to be successful in the next several years, as you move closer to what's most important to you, what are the things do you think are going to make you successful then? Like what makes Rachel successful 5 years from now? Do you have anything in mind?
I don't know.
Or is there anything different that you think you might utilize? Any tactics or?
I definitely do see the Barberologist Lounge expanding. I don't want to get into too much detail of how, but definitely in the next 5 years, I do see it being bigger than the private one-chair suite that it is. My family is one of the biggest things that keeps me inspired and keeps me going. And being a stepmom and a wife, that excites me, seeing what
Yes.
our future holds for our family, and that could potentially hinder some of the things that I have planned for my business in the future. But I think it's just taking it one day at a time. I think finding a mentor, you constantly want to grow and constantly want to be trying to elevate to that next level. And I feel like lately I've been that person for a lot of people, and a lot of people come to me to try and level up and mentor and things like that, which is amazing. But we constantly have to continue to feed ourselves and fill our cups. And so I think definitely finding somebody to help me put all my ideas together, because I have so
Yeah.
many
Well,
ideas.
we might be able to help with that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's
for sure.
talk about that some more.
Yeah, and so I definitely have big plans for the Barberologist Lounge. I hope that traveling gets back to pre-COVID days. Since COVID, the shows and the seminars and things like that haven't been as active as they were in the past. But last year was a little bit of a taste of what 2019 was, so it's exciting to see what this year has to offer. I already have the next couple of months booked for travel, so I'm excited about
Nice.
that. So that's really where my passion is being able to go and share my passion with people. And I love being able to be at the studio and cut hair and things like that, but I think making those opportunities for people. And so that's why I want to continue to build the Barberologist Lounge, so I can try to continue to give other people opportunities.
Yeah, that's amazing. What's the best way for people to connect with you and hang out? And if they want to be mentored or ask you questions, well, what's an appropriate way to get in contact with you?
So I have everything linked on my website on barberologist.com. It's easy for people to remember that way. They don't got to go to a bunch of different apps or, anything like that. But I do go by barberologist _ on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Those are the only social medias that I have. It's hard to keep up with all of them. I am on Threads too, but I don't use it. I'm the most active on Instagram. So if you want to get in touch with me, probably
Instagram's the place.
Instagram. As far as like inquiries for education or anything like that goes, I would either call me through my website. My phone number is there. You can come to my shop. I'm located in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in Uptown. Or email me at thebarberologist1@gmail.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, how can we help? How can the community help you be successful? And here's a minute. Here's a minute for you to be selfish, if you will. But is there what can we do to help you? You've helped so many.
I definitely want to get back into doing more community give backs. I used to cut hair for the homeless. I used to go to the Albuquerque Opportunity Center and do things like that, where I would give back to people that are trying to better their lives and trying to actually get jobs and get off the streets and stuff like that. So I think, just helping me find charities, nonprofit organizations, ways to give back. I just feel like I am, very blessed to be in the position that I am, and helping out with CYFD for my toy drive kind of really just helped bring some more awareness of what's going on in our city. And I'm blessed enough to have the clientele that I have, that I don't need new clients. I don't need anything. I am accepting new clients though. Like, I'm not accepting new clients, but I'm booked out a month in advance. So I'm good on my business aspect. I think just trying to help and give back to the community is something that I really want to do this year and focus more on this year. And content, of course, I can always do good with content. Everybody loves content, so that's one thing that I want to start making more time for this year, is content and being able to give my education out to you guys who aren't in Albuquerque or who can't go to the shows. Hopefully set up a YouTube channel or something in the future. That's something me and Jonathan have been talking about for a while, so I gotta stop talking about it and start doing it. So
that is the most selfish answer we've ever heard so far in our 5 episodes. Your selfish request was for connections to charities. That's pretty amazing. That's a great answer. Well, there it is. Whatever we can help with, we would love to help you with that.
Yeah.
Again, like your stance.
Any businesses want to connect and do things together. I love partnering with local businesses. I love helping local businesses any way I can. And
we're gonna have to talk some more about connections and networks and potentially hosting things because that's, I think, up my alley too this next week or this next year.
Nice.
And, you know, obviously Jalubi here is my right-hand man. He's your right-hand man
He's
too.
our right-hand man,
Yeah,
for sure.
He gets around. He's our right-hand man. But seriously, none of this could be possible without that guy. And, you know,
Yeah.
he's humble, but I'm very thankful that we've had
I
a
do
chance
think a
to
lot
hang
of my
out.
success for him as well, you know, and the content that we create together and the ideas that he helps bring to life for me. We were featured in a magazine that was published nationally, or worldwide, I guess. They're in the UK. So Barber Evo were featured in it. He was the
Wow.
photographer featured in the magazine. So I actually have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's super
awesome.
dope. So he's helped me be recognized worldwide. So I'm super grateful for the opportunities that he's helped bring me in my business.
Yeah. Don't get a big head over there, buddy. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up with that. Is there anything else that you wanted to say or share? Any last words that that you might want to leave to your friends and followers out there?
I'm just super super blessed and grateful. I'm super grateful and blessed to be here. I'm thankful that you give me the opportunity to be able to share my story with other people, and hopefully, you know, if anybody is interested in wanting to better their services or add more to their services or just add more education to what you already know, you know, feel free to get at me on any social medias. Come by the shop. My door is always open. Like I said, I don't gatekeep, you know, so whatever you want to know, whatever you want to learn, the products I use, the techniques I use, anything I want us to grow as an industry. If you grow, I grow. So, you know, it's better for me that we work together instead of against each other.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. This is great. Great conversation.
And if anybody's looking for a barber experience that they've never had before, holler at your girl.
1,000%. If you want a barber experience that you've never, ever had, Rachel's the one to do it. And that's coming from someone who's experienced it. So thank you for hanging out today. Thank you for taking time out of your week. It's always a blast hanging out with you and seeing what you're up to.
I appreciate it.
You know, I look forward to getting freshened up too.
Yes, I'm excited.
All right. Well, this is episode 5 of Find Your Success. Thank you for hanging out. And go kick some ass.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.